Well, the Personal Data Protection Act was actually passed in October 2012 and has come into effect in January 2013. But the main provisions of the Act, which deal with both direct marketing as well as the data protection obligations, are only going to kick in January and July 2014. And this means that businesses have this time period to actually get ready for compliance with the new law. Now, the Personal Data Protection Act is meant to be a baseline law to provide for data protection, and it is not intended to be too onerous for businesses to comply. And so we expect that compliance will not be a major issue for most companies. However, some of the, factors or points that companies may be interested in terms of the new law is that it applies only to the private sector, so it does not cover any government entities, and also that it applies to businesses outside of Singapore who may be collecting personal data of Singapore residents. So businesses both in Singapore as well as those that are based outside Singapore who collect, use personal information of persons resident in Singapore will have to comply with the new Personal Data Protection Act. Businesses will have to go down to the level of providing privacy policy. That's one of the requirements of the law, as well as appointing a data protection officer for the company that's collecting the personal data. In addition, companies are also going to have to comply with a new direct marketing do not call regime, which essentially is going to regulate the sending of direct marketing messages by SMS as well as voice calls and fax messages. And companies will have to screen their lists against the registries to ensure that they don't send messages to an individual who has opted out. And if they do, they will then face penalties. So this is definitely going to have an impact on marketing, especially for industries such as the insurance industry, financial institutions, and property companies. So they will definitely need to put in place procedures and processes in order to comply with these new requirements. I think interestingly, even with putting in place wonderful, robust IT systems, policies, and procedures, I think the key really lies in training and education of employees, because most incidents of breach of data protection laws really arise because an employee either does not understand the law or breaches it, and that really is an area of focus or should be an area of focus for companies to really take those policies and make them actually live and breathe by training the employees so they understand the implications, and it's not just a piece of paper or policy from management. And I think that's really the challenge for companies. And if a company is able to really educate the employees and get them to understand the law, I think that's going to be the real key to compliance.